All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and do a boat walkthrough for you with my 2023 Phoenix 920 Elite. This is actually the same boat that I ran last season in 2023 for the Bass Pro Tour. I just went ahead and ran the same hull, same engine, and I put some new cool things on here. I'm excited to show you guys everything that I'm running on the boat this season. I'm gonna go ahead and start at the back of the boat and work my way to the front. I think I've seen a few boat walkthroughs and seen some guys start at the front. And man, in my opinion, the more exciting stuff is up there. The whole thing is important. I mean, from the back to the very tip of the boat, everything's important, but I spent a lot of time on that trolling motor up there. I'm excited to show you guys that. Let's start at the back, work our way to the front, and I'll kind of show you guys what I'm working with this year, 2024. Let's go. All right, guys, so on the very rear end of my boat here, I've got a Mercury 250 Pro XS. This is a 4-stroke engine. As you guys can see, I've got the little yellow decals on there. It's kind of been my thing. I've ran that for the last few seasons. It matches the yellow accents on my boat, so I like that on there. This is a super reliable motor, very, very, very powerful motor, and really happy to be running this again in 2024. And then next to the engine, well, actually no, you know what? We'll talk about how the engine is mounted to the boat. I've got it mounted here on a Bob's Machine Shop. This is a 10-inch Action jack plate. This is a great jack plate. This is the black powder coated jack plate. It's really a really quality jack plate. It's got a lot of power, so like if I'm running down the lake and I'm going really fast, I can raise and lower this thing, and it's real responsive. I've got a blinker switch at the console up there where I can raise and lower my jack plate. Super excited about running that Bob's jack plate again. That thing is top-notch quality, and if you haven't checked it out, guys, definitely check out Bob's. They make some of the best jack plates that are on the market. And then mounted to that jack plate, I've got my white 10-foot power pole blades. These guys are honestly one of my favorite aspects of my boat. Having these blades, these 10-footers, in my opinion, is key for a number of reasons. You know, we live, you know, Michaela and I live on the Tennessee River, or near the Tennessee River, Guntersville Lake, and I fish a lot of offshore stuff on Guntersville. And believe it or not, some of these bars that I fish are shallow enough out in the middle of the lake to utilize these power pole blades, 10-footers, to actually hit the bottom and stay stationary on like eelgrass bars and stuff like that. So the 10-footers are great for spawning fish. You know, anytime you're working with fish that are, you know, spawning out a little deeper, whatever it is, you guys know the benefits of the power poles, and having the longer ones, in my opinion, allows me to use them in more situations. You guys, if you've ever used a set of 8-foot power pole blades, you know they really only work when it's like 6.5, 7 feet or less. You can't really get 8 feet out of them. So this guy right here allows me to really anchor into that 8-9 foot zone where you normally can't do it with that shorter pole. And I'm of course rocking the white to kind of match the whole rig. We'll work our way up front. I've got a lot of little accessories, if you guys will kind of see throughout the video. Back in the splash well here, this is a Boat FX foam little protecting pad. So this guy right here, this tube that goes to the engine that kind of goes in with all your cables and stuff, it's known to rub up against the fiberglass of your splash well, and that Boat FX pad kind of protects it. Super cool little design. Those guys at Boat FX do a phenomenal job of constantly coming out with neat little designs that kind of enhance the boat and make things better and just protect the boat and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna go in back here. This may not be the most exciting part of the boat, but it is like the most important part of the boat. This is like the brain of the boat, or the, I don't even know, probably not even really the brain. It's more like the heart. I'd say this is the heart, because this is like pumping the blood to the boat. This is where all my juice comes from. These are my Amped Outdoors lithium batteries. I've got two 50 amp hour, these are 36 volt batteries on that side, right over there. And then I've got the C-Clear harness, you know, hooked up to this battery and this battery here. These are 100 amp hour, 12 volt batteries. They're linked in parallel. So these guys are providing my graphs with 200 amp hours of power. It's an awesome setup. And then as far as my cranking battery, I've just got a gel cranking battery over here, kind of my house battery. It's running all my pumps and my lights and stuff like that. But all my Lowrance electronics are ran off of these 100 amp hour 12 volt lithiums. And then my trolling motor's running off of those two 50 amp hours over there. Killer setup, like I said, running that C-Clear harness in here. That thing provides my graphs with the cleanest, clearest power hooked up to these amped outdoor batteries. Then I've got my two power pull pumps over here. You know, the rest of it's kind of self-explanatory. Got some on and off switches. I've got my NoCo charger over here that charges a couple of my batteries. I've got 3 of them hooked up to it. And then I have a separate portable charger that I charge these 36 volt guys on over here. So that's kind of my, like I said, my heart. We'll call it the heart of the boat. And I'm not gonna go into all my storage. Like, I'm not gonna dig in and around all the compartments. This video would be like 2.5 hours long. Some of you guys might enjoy seeing what's in there. Some of it's kind of a secret. We're actually out here next to Santee Cooper Lake. This is for stage 2 of the Bass Pro Tour. And I got some things in there for this stage for practice. We haven't started yet. And I don't wanna share it with you guys, to be just blatantly honest. So we're not gonna dig into the compartments. I'm just gonna kind of do the walk through the overview of the boat. So let's continue up front. You guys see all the carpet decals. Carpet's a little dirty. I think this is actually some blood from some crappie that I caught. I need to clean that off, but got some carpet decals back there. Everything's looking super clean. Those guys at Excel Graphics do a really good job with the wrap and the carpet decals. And then that guy right there is super cool. That Boat FX little foam deal that goes over the middle hatch on the Phoenix, that prevents any moisture from building up around the edges of the carpet that normally lays there. And so that's a neat little feature. Got some Boat FX pad down here on my hot foot. And then this is the blinker switch that I was talking about up here. This is the one for the jack plate on that side. Losing a little bit of its sticker on there, but it still does exactly what it's supposed to. This guy right here is my trim. And then at the dash, I used to run a 16-inch HDS live unit. And this year I'm running 2. These are HDS Pros, and these are 12 inchers. So I've got a 12 incher here and a 12 incher here. And these are on a Boat FX dual dash mount. And you guys, I'm excited. Coming up soon, I may add another screen right here. I may add another one of these, which is just absolutely ridiculous. It's probably gonna slow my boat down like a whole mile an hour or two. But, you know, today's day and age is all about electronics, and you gotta stay competitive with everybody else out there on the tour. And I'm gonna be running something on that other screen that's gonna be pretty dang cool. I will have to show you guys that in another video once I get that installed. But for now, we're running 2 screens here, Boat FX dual dash mount. And on here, I've got these Boat FX graph locks. These things are legit. They are machined aluminum, and they're very, very, very strong. There's a couple others out there on the market that you can actually take a hammer to them and knock them right off of there. You know, just the peace of mind when you walk into the store, when you go in somewhere for lunch, wherever it might be, these things are gonna keep my expensive units here safe. If you guys are interested in getting any of these Boat FX products, whether it's the graph mount, the locks, any of the foam padding, guys, use my code WALL01 and that'll get you 10% off at checkout. It'll get you 10% off your entire order. So definitely go check it out. These graph locks, if you're gonna get one thing from Boat FX, get the graph locks. They will keep your investment safe, and they are legit, super, super legit. And then these guys here are kind of cool too. These actually keep the cover on your screen when you're running down the road. These are called the cover traps, and so they'll keep those covers trapped on there. So anyway, that's the console. It's a super nice setup. I really, really like those Lowrance Pro units. I'm running the 3-in-1 HD side scan, down scan sonar transducer on the back of the boat. I didn't even show you guys that, but it's just a longer transducer. You guys know what a side scan transducer looks like. It's mounted down there, and that's giving me a super, super clean image with my C-Clear harness on this guy right here. So really like that setup at the console. Excited to share with you guys what I'm adding to it, but we're going to continue our work up the boat. We're here at the front. So the front of this boat is where a lot of magic happens. This is where I reel them in, and this is my, you know, the boat's a little dirty right now, I won't lie. We just drove like 8 hours yesterday and got some grime on it. probably need to walk through and clean it up, but we're just going to do the walkthrough. You guys get to see it raw in its nature that it's in right now. So here at the front this year, a little different than what I ran in the past. I'm running a Powerpull Move trolling motor. That is a, what is it? I believe the 52-inch shaft Powerpull Move. There's some very neat features about that Powerpull Move. Let's actually go over here to this side and I can show you guys really quick some of the features that I like. So a couple things that are really cool about this trolling motor. For one, like I said, this is a 52-inch shaft trolling motor, so it's a little bit longer shaft for when you're fishing bigger water, bigger waves. But it actually just overall, the layout of it and the way that it sits on the boat, it's just smaller, more compact than a lot of the trolling motors that are out there. So I really like that. I also like that it's got this you know, your latch to deploy it, which if this thing happens to break, you know, which they do from time to time on boats, this is actually a kind of a safety mechanism. You can deploy this trolling motor using your hand. You don't even need this pulling cord here, which is cool. There's not another trolling motor on the market that allows you to kind of, you know, drop it in and out of the water. So like if this thing breaks in the middle of the tournament day, I don't have to sit there and fix it. I can literally just deploy it with my hand the rest of the day and it'll get me by. That's a super cool feature. This thing here, this allows me to quickly lower and raise the motor. This collar is really nice, super easy to open and close. And just overall, it's just a very powerful, quiet trolling motor. I really like that the foot pedal on this thing is, it's got some neat features to it. So on a lot of the other trolling motors on the market, you've got switches and buttons down here. And I feel like personally, I hit those with the heel of my foot when I'm trying to move around sometimes. And so instead of having like your anchoring button over here or on that side, it actually, believe it or not, it's separate. And I've got mine installed right here. So my anchoring button's here. I can literally, like, if I wanted to spot lock, or I guess, I don't know what it's called for this. Lock in place, you guys know what I mean, spot lock. I mean, that's what we're gonna call it. If you want to spot lock, I'm gonna hit that sucker right there and I don't accidentally do it with the heel of my foot. That's super cool. Powerpull Move trolling motor is legit. On here, I've got a 0-degree mount. This is not a product that I am affiliated with, but it's a great mount for your forward facing. I've got my Active Target 2 on there. Fish Obsessed makes that mount. Super high quality mount, keeps my stuff perfectly in line, gives me the best, cleanest image I possibly can get. And I'm running my Active Target 2 on an HDS Live, or HDS Pro, sorry, 16 unit, which is mounted on a dual bow mount by Boat FX. This thing's super legit. It stands up a little higher than most mounts on the market, puts that graph a little closer to my face, makes it a little bit easier to see my forward facing stuff. And that 16-inch screen makes it even easier. And then below that, we got a plane going overhead. We're just gonna keep it rolling. Below that, I've got a 12-inch that I use for mapping, pretty much just mapping. And this whole deal locks, and just a super nice setup up front. I really like this a lot for my front graph setup. Another neat feature that I didn't talk about on my trolling motor here, it's really not part of the trolling motor at all, but what this is actually a little pointer. This pointer is made by CS Pro Solutions. It's called a C-Stick. A buddy of mine, Carson Orellana, who actually I competed against in college, he actually came out with this a while back, a few years ago, and I've been running one for a few years now, and it is an awesome product. It, you know, on the Move here, it's actually designed for a different trolling motor, but it works great on the Move. It works great on any trolling motor. This head moves when I turn, but it doesn't really have a direct arrow of where it points. This thing, when I'm storing it, I can kind of keep it tucked away here, and then when I want it out and deployed, boom, it locks into place, and that guy right there is going to point the way in which my direction of my Active Target 2 is going. So I can use this as a directional pointer to know where to cast when I'm watching my screen up there trying to throw at individual fish or groups of fish or pieces of structure or whatever that might be. So super duper cool little product, and it really does help me be more efficient on the water. And this whole deal is efficiency, being able to make more casts at fish and put yourself in the position to get more bites and you know, make that happen quicker and more often throughout the day. So that little guy there does that for me. Super neat little product by CS Pro Solutions. And man, besides that, got my Powerpull stomp switches up here for my power poles. You guys can see those there. I've got one on this side, one on that side. I personally like to split them up. I've got my down switch over here, my up switch over there. And those guys are self-explanatory. You tap those and my power poles will drop in the back, lock me down. Nothing else real fancy going on up here. Got the standard stuff that comes on your Phoenix. Rod straps, keep all my ducket rods locked down. Couple of neat little features here on my trailer. We'll walk back over to this other side and I'll kind of point them out. Super cool things that Boat FX makes. This guy here is the steps, the Boat FX trailer steps. These guys are actually an added on feature on here to my trailer, so you can get these to where they, you know, some factories install them at the, you know, at the factory, but the Boat FX ones are super cool. They'll literally go on any trailer. Those guys will custom make them for whatever your boat is. This is an addition that I could not go without. Honestly, it's so nice to have. When I first got them, I was like, man, I can get in and out of this boat no problem. I've fallen getting out of a bass boat on a trailer at a boat ramp. Not only is it extremely embarrassing, it freaking hurts. Like, I hit my back on that like tongue of the trailer and it freaking hurts. It's probably part of the reason why I've got like some back issues going on. We're actually doing quite a bit better on that. Been doing some core exercises, but definitely these are a nice addition. I've got the foam on there too, which matches the boat and also gives you better traction as well. And then this guy right here is another really cool step. When I first got it, I was like, man, I'm not gonna really use that much. Boy, was I wrong. That is a Boat FX Booma step. And I will tell you one thing, when you get that trailer way down in the water and you're going to unhitch the boat to like put it in and out of the lake, I do that a lot by myself. Standing here, undoing this is a lot easier than balancing on the tongue of the trailer. So this thing is legit for getting the boat on and off the trailer. It's also really nice for getting in and out of the back of your you know, canopy on your truck. Gives you something bigger to stand on. Super cool little deal on there. Really like that a lot. Like I said, Boat FX makes all that stuff. And man, that's really about it without going inside the compartments, which I said we're not going to do. So jump around to this other side and I'll see if I can think of anything else. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Hopefully you enjoyed the walkthrough video. If there's anything that you guys saw that I missed talking about, which there probably was something, ask questions down in the comments. If there's anything you guys want to see, I had somebody suggest a boat walkthrough video and I thought, hey, that's a great idea. I want to show you guys what I'm running, especially with technology and things changing. You know, running that 16-inch graph up front, that Lowrance Pro unit for my forward facing, that's something you're going to see more and more of, is guys using bigger and bigger screens for forward facing sonar in order to see a bigger and clearer image of that fish swimming out there in front of the boat. So definitely neat to break it down, show it to you guys, show you from the rear of the boat all the way to the front of the boat. And like I said, if there's anything that I missed, please comment it below. Any other video ideas, please comment those below too. And if you guys aren't already, subscribe to the channel. It's super easy to do. Doesn't cost anything. Literally all you got to do is hit a button. And then if you enjoyed today's video, like the video. Until next time, guys, catch you later.